Not a bad way to get started here, coming back from that injury.
And so welcome back in. Those of you just tuning in, joining us, we've been working through a few technical difficulties, but that's okay. Fletcher Wilson had struck out 2, and this one grounded over to short. Kenny just could not get to it to make the throw out at first in time. And so that'll be 2 away with 1 on as we get you going here in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, slow roller to Kenny's right. Just couldn't get enough on it as his momentum was taking him away from the throw. Got 2 out. First 2 batters struck out, called.
So the 0-1, Wilson comes back, fires over to base at first. And this one
should be a foul ball.
It is called foul.
Up in on the hands. Sound like to me it hit the bat.
Well, even if it wasn't, he started to come around and swing. So even at the contact, around the knuckle there, I don't know that they would count that because he's coming around. So the 0-2 off the foul. 2 away. Wilson fires.
Oh.
And that one, he does dome him. And so that'll put 2 on after Wilson struck out 2.
Is up in the noggin.
That's why they wear the helmets.
Absolutely. All right, that brings up Aiden DeLeon, shortstop, hitting out of the 5-hole. Basa playing behind the runner at first.
This one fouled off, 0-1.
Calvert working the runner at second. Massive hole over on the right-hand side.
One in scoring position. Wilson fires. This one fouled away. Without Fletcher Wilson over these last couple of weeks, you've lost having a right-handed pitcher of a starting caliber. You've really had a lot of lefties coming in from Basa to Martinez to Martiak. But Wilson gets you out of the top half of the inning, leaving 2 stranded. And we'll go back to work with the Maroons in the batting lineup at the top of the order. On the other side, you're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vibe Live Network. Welcome back into Burger Field on this beautiful Friday afternoon. The Maroons are getting set to take to the lineup on the offensive side, but before we do, we'll set you your defensive lineup. Take it away, Mr. Scott.
Yeah, leading off and playing center field, number 3, James Scott. Batting second and playing first base, Jaden Besa. Batting third and playing left field, Drew Anderson. Batting fourth and playing third base, Javi Godinez. Batting fifth and DHing, Henry Shooter. Batting sixth and catching, Osby Contreras. Batting seventh and playing right field, Ty Schreiber. Batting eighth and playing second base, Dane Calvert. And batting ninth and playing shortstop, Logan Kenny. So James Scott, as usual, been leading us off. He's hitting .382 this year with a .493 on-base percentage. 947 OPS. Leads the team in hits with 21, stolen bases with 10. Also scored 21 runs in 19 games. Corner's pinched in. And he takes ball one. Gonzalez was their catcher the other day, I believe. Working from the windup. Fouled off. I believe he's the one who had the catcher's interference on his hand, so everything must have worked out just fine for him. And here's the pitch.
And he will skip this one right back into the glove. And a quick flick of the wrist over to first will put one away. Made contact, just took a hard bounce right off the ground in front of the mound, right into your pitcher's glove here, and it allows him to just scamper on over to the bag at first.
And that brings up Jaden Besa, senior Jaden Besa, hit .267, .382 on base percentage, 3 doubles, a home run, 8 RBI.
Fires this one well off the plate.
Gonzalez working from the windup, way outside.
Two-0 count. This one again outside. So if I'm Besa, I'm taking all the way here, 3-0.
Oh, you got to think, absolutely.
If he puts a strike in there, good on him, but I would take this one. He does, and there's the strike call. So 3-1 on the count.
There you go. Take that for a walk. Besa working his on-base percentage up close to 400 now. Now batting Drew Anderson, leading the team in hitting now at an even 400. 14 hits and 35 at-bats. This is his 17th game played. He's got a double, 2 triples, 7 RBI, 9 runs scored. Was 2 for 4 on Tuesday night, scored 2 and drove in 3.
Quick flinch there sends Besa skidding back into first. This one high and upstairs for ball one for Drew Anderson. Anderson, you talk about him swinging a hot bat. He was red hot on Tuesday night.
Yes, he was.
Of course, all the Maroon bats were clicking on Tuesday night to the tune of 14 runs being scored and somewhere in the ballpark of 15 hits.
Yeah, that big hit by Osby Contreras seemed to really start and open the floodgates. That double to right center.
1-0, Anderson fouls this one away and into the Akins dugout.
Pretty good crowd out here for a 3 o'clock start.
Yeah, no kidding.
I think a lot of people want to come out and have happy hour at Burger. I like that.
Before the storms come in and make a mess of everything.
Ooh, pitch out. Nothing doing.
Jaden Besa, well too aware. He was watching the whole way in. That brings 2-1 count. This one down low. Anderson able to scoop it off the dirt. Fires over to second. The throw is in time, but not the effort for Akins to turn 2.
Up next for the Maroons, third baseman.
So Besa gets thrown out at first, or at second rather, excuse me. But the throw to first is not in time to put away Anderson. So still 2 away as Javi Godinez steps to the plate.
Javi's hitting .280 on the year with a .400 on-base percentage, .900 OPS. Leads the team with 4 triples, second on the team with 10 RBI, and 9 runs scored.
And Godinez skips this line down to third. The throw over to first is in time. And that will retire the side. So early on, a little defensive battle going here early. And we'll see if that continues as Fletcher Wilson looks to continue his work from the mound when we return. You're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vipe Live Network.
Ready to turn your vision of the perfect space into reality? James Gonin knows that great design is where it all begins. With a passion for creativity and years of experience in both residential and commercial architecture, James knows how to bring your ideas to life. Whether it's your dream home or the next big commercial project, like the new baseball field for Austin High, James Gonin will make your architectural dreams a reality. More info at jamesgonin.com. James Gonin, architect and proud supporter of Austin High baseball.
Welcome back on. Here from Burger Field on a beautiful Friday afternoon, and JP Bettis steps up to the plate here as we get you started, top of the second.
Oh, foul ball. Behind, the ball went behind his head, didn't get his bat down, and that goes as a foul ball strike. Coaches always tell you, get the bat down.
Bettis can't believe it. And so that leads to the early 0-1. This one fired in from Wilson. Just misses the inside corner. And it's a 1-1 count. Wilson from the windup. Fires, and that one's upstairs, so a 2-1 count. Wilson just kind of trying to reset, settle back in. Fires, and this one's fouled away for strike 2. So 2-2 count. Wilson fires this one, ripped back to him, and Fletcher Wilson does a really good job. It's almost like we saw that play only a half inning ago.
No doubt.
Skips right back. Wilson had to drop down a little bit lower to catch it off the bounce, but he does, and able to jog over to first and make the first out here of the second inning. Wilson goes back to work from the windup. That one catches the outside corner for strike one. This one ripped over to second, and really well done by Dane Calvert. Stumbled a little bit coming up off the bounce, but able to field it, flips it to base, and that's 2 away.
The key is he kept his feet under him. He didn't take a splat like the baby Bambi. So good job out there, Dane Calvert.
Wilson from the windup. This one down in the dirt.
You know, before Fletcher went down with that arm injury, we saw him pumping up in the mid to upper 80s on his fastball. We'll see where he is now as he works his way back into game condition.
This one again down low, skips its way back to Contreras. Wilson, the windup, fires, fits that one in, strike one. Two one, swing and a miss. Wilson fires. That one's fouled off. And this one struck, ripped over to Godinez. Godinez fires.
What a play.
And there's James Besa with the tag and the putout. And that gets you out of the top of the second inning.
I'm sorry, Dave. That's a big-time play by Javi Godinez. On the run, grabbing that and having the arm strength to throw against his body on the run. My, oh, my, what a play.
Well, over the last couple of weeks, we've seen when it hasn't been Besa out there, and it kind of speaks to the communication, the expectation between Besa and Godinez. And it's not a knock on Fletcher Wilson or Ty Schreiber, who have filled in when Besa's been on the mound, but we've seen over the last couple of weeks when Godinez has made that throw, he's ended up pulling them off the bag, has gone for an error. This time he's able to fire it in, connects with Besa, and that will turn our attention to the DH and Henry Shooter. He'll get you started when we come back. You're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vipe Live Network. Welcome back in. You know, it's a warmer and a little bit of a balmier Friday afternoon, in part with the impending threat of inclement weather that has served to reorganize your Friday schedule, our Friday evening schedule as well as part of that. So wherever you are, we appreciate you tuning in, sticking around with us to get you through the rest of your workday.
Or school day. The
could
really
be your
cool
school day,
teachers would let you watch the game in class. Henry Shooter would appreciate that. Henry steps in hitting .357. He's 5 for 14 on the season. Does lead the team in home runs with 2. Takes that breaking ball at 57 miles an hour for a ball. Looking over to my left, I see Mr. Personality, loyal forever. Charlie Reeves back at the Burger Ballpark. Hard to stay away from Maroon baseball as that one bounces in the dirt outside.
So Henry Shooter, limited at bats, but continues to make the most of them. And as he continues to do so, it only further gives him opportunities as he works himself to a 3-0 count. The windup, fires this one in, and ball 4.
There you go.
Put Henry Shooter on the bag.
Way to be a good leadoff man. Leadoff man for Osby Contreras. Contreras hitting .255 on the season, .407 on-base percentage. Leads the team in doubles with 7 and RBIs with 14.
Shooter DHing for Wilson. Contreras. This one gets through, and that will be a pass ball. But it allows Henry Shooter to advance.
It's a big 90 feet. Single by Contreras. He'll add to his RBI lead. I'd expect here early, especially Coach A, to put the pressure on the defense to make them make the play.
That one, way to stand in, Osby Contreras.
Way to use your head.
Wasn't even phased, just took it on the noggin. He stared and watched that one come in. Talk about being a team player. Takes one on the noggin.
All right, that brings up Deuce Schreiber. Deuce is hitting 200, .360 on base percentage, 4 for 20.
Shipper in, by the way, courtesy running for Contreras, for those of you at home. Bunt sign on. Schreiber
Nice bunt.
lays it down to the third base line, and that loads the bases.
Perfectly placed bunt by Ty Schreiber.
Way to come up with a plan, Mr. Schreiber. Comes up, lays a bunt down the third base line. Nice little drag bunt here to get you going.
That brings up Dane Calvert, 0 for 8, looking for his first varsity hit.
Well, no better time to come up with one with bases loaded. Would not only be his first varsity hit, give him an RBI to go with it.
Yes, it would. Now's the time, DC. Infield in.
Calvert takes this one. So ball 2.
You know, with as wild as Gonzalez has been, we'll take just get on base, because on base, get him an RBI as well. That'd be his first RBI of the season.
2-0. And Calvert takes that one for strike 1. You know, if Tyler is watching, 'cause of course he's coming, and of course I'm out here for Bowie. You know, that one, Calvert spins out of the way, and that allows Shooter to come the extra 90 feet on the wild pitch. And so the Maroons score 1 here in the bottom of the first.
Still got the opportunity to drive in 1, if not 2. There, or get on base.
He'll
there
get
you
on
go.
bag with a full set. 4 balls, and that'll walk him, and we will lead to Gonzalez getting chatted with on the mound.
Yeah, that brings up Logan Kinney for us. Logan had a rope to left field on Tuesday. He's hitting 200 overall for the season with a 304 on base percentage. Got a couple of RBIs, scored 6 runs, has laid down some great bunts, and what a big moment for him with no out and the bases loaded. And what for the Maroons, as we've been talking about, very, very important game. We win today. Bowie loses to Westlake later. Austin High would be in that 4th spot, which would, as the standings show, the top 4 get to the playoffs. So we would be somewhat in control of our own destiny, which is really important. And next week, we are off and out of district. We have a game next Friday against San Marcos in San Marcos, and then we go right into that Bowie series, which would be really, really big. And that seems to be, if we win that Bowie series, we should be in the playoffs.
Yeah, and it's one of those that, a lot like last season, really, it came down to the Bowie series. Can you get the win? Can you not? Now, woulda, coulda, shoulda, a little bit of retrospective. How different now is it feeling if you're Austin High and a fan of Austin High coming in to this series? Presumptuously, you would get the win here today. As long as you can hold on, you're up 1-0, looking to add to it. How different does it feel not even splitting with Del Valle?
Yeah.
When you certainly had that one in reach, as opposed to you get swept by Del Valle, you do split with Dripping Springs. But, man, even just having one of those Del Valle games back on your side of the win column.
Number 16, Aiden Tenberg. Now batting.
Makes such a huge difference right now. And yet could all be meaningless in the grand scheme of things outside of just playoff seeding in general.
Every pitch, every game is important, and we've got a great one right here with Logan Kinney.
Kenny takes here for strike 1.
Big breaking curveball.
The 0-1. It's upstairs for ball 1.
So Tenberg moves in from second to the mound. Pudiak moves from third to second. Need to get a third baseman out there. That's a ball.
Down low. Well below the knees, in the dirt. 2-1 count. We did not highlight, by the way, that Gonzalez's day is through for Akins. As ball 3 here for Logan Kenny. Wind up, Kenny lifts this one, and that's fouled off.
Good effort by J.P. Perez out there. Ran a long way.
Just could not catch up to it.
Akins looking for their first district victory. Short leash on Gonzalez, moving to Tenberg.
Three 3-2 count.
We may need some help from these Akins Eagles against Del Valle later this year. Logan Kenny for the walk in the RBI.
Keeps the bases loaded. Adds 1 to the Maroon lead.
Number 3, James Scott.
All right, that brings up the Sarge. James Scott 0 for 1, grounded back to the mound his first time up. .75 down the middle.
Strike 1. This one, Scott layers this out into right field.
Ty Schreiber started in, did not tag. That cost us a run right there. And when you're at third and the ball's in the air, you always have to get back to the bag, tag up, and go. I know Scott hit that hard, and your natural inclination is to go, but anything in the air from third, you should score and hope that doesn't come back to haunt us.
Is one out with Besa coming up, and still the base is loaded. That one laid in there. What was the speed you had on that one? That took a good little bit. That was a nice arc to it, getting over to the plate.
It was in the 40s. That was 71. Fouled at 102, by the way.
Big jump there from, being in the 40s. Like I said, that one arced in there, almost like you're playing catch in the backyard.
Something tells me that slipped off his hands.
Besa fouls off the 1-1. So 1-2 here for Jane Besa. Drew Anderson on deck. Dangerous Drew Anderson. Ball 2. Besa.
There you
Rips
go.
this one. That one. Sit down in time. No. Catch is made. Schreiber tagged up this time, and he will score on the sac fly from Jane Besa. So add another run to the Maroon lead. Still 2 on board, 1 in scoring position, but 3 have come across the plate.
So we got that run in. Calvert did not advance to third, possibly wisely because they did hit the cutoff man. No need to risk it being in scoring position already.
Anderson fouls this one away.
Anderson grounded out to the fielder's choice, 6-4. His first time up.
It's almost like Coach A had the hit and run play on. Everybody was in motion. In motion.
Whatever it takes to score another run.
There you go. If Tyler's watching this, because, Tyler going to be joining me out here for the Bowie game later tonight. Wouldn't mind him picking me up a sandwich or something. Going to be out here for a while.
Teamwork. So you guys going to do that one together?
That's exactly right.
Wow. All right. Bowie a little envious of our two-man crew?
Well, I don't know about that. That was more due to time constraints, given the moving up here. Is a throw over to third, is in time. And Calvert gets caught being on the move. So that'll bring you into the top of the third, but the Maroons, they've picked up 3 here in the bottom of the second. And Fletcher Wilson returns to his workshop at the mound and looks to keep what he has done going. 3-0, Maroons lead when we return. You're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vipe Live Network.
After a tough game on the diamond or a strenuous day on the job, relief from those aches and pains is waiting for you at Somanos. Kiko is a certified flexibility expert and wellness practitioner who provides comprehensive bodywork, mobility coaching, and intentional breath work that allows the body to relax while relieving pain and alleviating injuries. Somanos offers a variety of therapeutic services to fit your needs and not hurt your budget. Relieve pain and increase your quality of life with Somanos. Move better, feel better, live better. 512-800-3064 or online at somanosbody.com. Somanos, proud supporter of Austin High Baseball.
Hi everyone, I'm Gigi for Chuck Nash Chevrolet Buick GMC in San Marcos. we'd like to invite you to Shop Chuck Nash, where we combine small-town hospitality with a huge selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Right now, we have over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from and a friendly staff to guide you through your purchase. Stop into Chuck Nash Chevrolet Buick GMC today and experience a new way of buying or selling your next vehicle.
Welcome back in. Our beautiful afternoon of high school baseball continues here for you. Not just any high school team, it's the Austin High Maroons, and they've built up a 3-0 lead. Big bottom of the second inning for him. Croca trying to respond, but he will ground out over to short, who makes that throw back to first, and that's one away.
Nice quick play by Logan Kinney.
Pitcher, number 16,
Takes Akins back up to the top of the lineup with Tinberg, who started the game at second, moved over, is pitching now. He struck out looking in the first.
And Wilson fits that in just off the outside corner of the plate, strike one. Ball one there.
That was 80. It's the fastest I've seen Fletcher since he's been back. Looked like he was aiming that one, ended up high. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Got one down here in the top of the third. Wilson working from the windup. Missed low and away.
I'll put one on.
So that'll bring up Kelso Becerra, who's the center fielder. He also struck out looking in the first inning. So he stands in 0 for 1. Godinez in on the grass at third, protecting from a bunt. Calvert shaded over. Kinney's looks like he's going to take the throw if Tinberg runs.
Swing and a miss. That one down in the dirt.
We do have a Red Jacket sighting today. A couple of Red Jackets out here supporting the Austin High Maroons.
Wilson fires. That one's going to skip in the dirt and past Osby Contreras. Will give up 90 feet on the bags. Goes ball one. You're going to have to explain to folks at home what a Red Jacket is. Otherwise, some people might think that you're implying that the British are coming.
Well, that's an old school reference.
There you go.
Right after this pitch.
Wilson taking his time with it. Winds up, fires. Down just below the zone and a bit outside.
All right, Red Jackets is the Austin High Maroon dance team. Why are they red and not maroon? Their story goes that I understand. Maybe there's more than one. But they had an order back in maybe the 20s for the dance team. That ball's called strike, so it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the order came in as red and not maroon, and they didn't have enough time to return it and order new ones, so
they rolled with it.
The name stuck.
There you go.
That's the way I understand it. Hit me up if I'm wrong at ahsmaroonbaseball@gmail.com.
This one, ground over to second, throw to first, is in time. They'll give up the 90 feet on the fielder's choice, but does record a second out. Only downside is it does leave one in scoring position from third.
Yeah, that's the right play by Calvert. You just got to go get your out. No chance of getting Tinberg going from second to third. So we always want to be charging that ball so we don't, especially on natural grass and dirt, take that opportunity for a bad hop out.
Good job by Contreras. Able to smother that one. Still a 1-0 count.
With as desperate as Akins is looking for runs, I would expect them not to let that next one go. So, called strike. Contreras up to the challenge. Got to be a wall there. Keep anything in front of him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Another one in the dirt. Nice job keeping that ball in front of him.
Osby Contreras doing just about everything he can. To keep that. Tenberg held at third. A 2-1 count here. Wilson from the windup. That one's in the dirt again. Osby able to block it, but a 3-1 count here, nevertheless.
Wilson at 47 pitches overall, 16 in this inning. 1 good pitch here from ending this inning.
That one's in there for another strike, so a full count here. That Fletcher Wilson has worked his way back into. This will be the payoff pitch. And it's fouled away, so we'll do it all over again.
Oop. Looks like that one caught Osby.
Got him on the arm there. Maybe got him on the knee.
Not the easiest position in the world to play. Not for the faint of heart. The tools of ignorance, they call it.
This one in the dirt again, and with a second try, the payoff pitch, it leads to a walk. And that'll put runners at the corners here. Still 2 outs.
Yep, Pudiak coming up. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning.
Took it on the dome. Wilson up to 50 pitches here through 3. We'll see with that arm injury if there's any kind of count for him or anything along those lines. Something to keep an eye on as Wilson.
I think there'd have to be.
Lines up, fires.
It was 82 low. Seems like Fletcher's just now getting his arm kind of stretched out and hit a couple of his highest speeds here in this inning.
Fires again. This one fouled off for strike 1.
Got a lot of folks watching. If you are, give us a like. If you haven't subscribed already, do so. It would help our metrics. We always want to be liked. David's insecure that way.
Well, you rag on the high school crew all the time. I know they're busy, but, man, I keep telling them, one of these days we're going to start taking it personally. They don't like us that much.
Oh, my God. For the second time, he got hit in the head.
Took it on the dome. That's going to lead to Coach A and Contreras. They're going to go out, and they'll bring in the whole infield here for this meeting is with 2 away, and Fletcher Wilson hits another one and loads the bases.
Remember Tuesday, we got out to a 3-0 lead, and then somewhere about the third inning, I think, Akins started coming back. It was 3-2. It was pretty tight. We ended up winning that game, I believe, 14-2, but
14-5.
14-5. Okay, for a while there, it was pretty tight. So definitely want to hold any damage here. De Leon is up. He struck out looking in the first inning. So Wilson struck out the side in the first inning in between a single and a hit batter, and that entire strikeout in that first inning was looking.
Coach A looked back to the dugout. So I imagine here before long we will see perhaps some action here in the Maroon bullpen. Wilson fires. This one fouled away.
Yeah, you would think Henry Shooter, Carter Hayden,
Bodie Martiak would still be available.
Martiak, probably, yeah. And then
don't know that you would want to necessarily go to Martiak if you can help it, just because you saw him again on Tuesday.
Yeah, you got Martinez as well.
You do have Jason Martinez, who would be fresh. We hadn't seen him since last week at Westlake.
See if Fletcher can just go get this out right here.
Fires this one, ripped, and what a block by Besa. Unfortunately, it bounced off the glove, and the way it bounced, it was a great job by Jane Besa to keep it from going into the outfield, but because of the way it bounced off the angle, Calvert ended up overrunning it, trying to cover the bag. Had to skid to a stop, trying to backtrack and make a throw over to first. But it does score 2.
That was a heck of a diving effort by Jaden Besa. Man, he laid out for that like Superman. Almost made a tremendous play. He did, actually, keeping it in. Those 2 runs ended up scoring anyway. But heck of a job there, and we will have a pitching change here.
It will be Shooter who will take over, but to your point, if Besa does not lay out and make that play, you've got another runner, most likely at least 90 feet away
100%.
From scoring again. But because of Besa, that holds him still in scoring position, but it holds him at second as a result.
Yeah, that 90 feet could be very big here. So we move to Henry Shooter off the mound. Shooter is a junior. He's thrown 9 1/3 innings this year. He's made 1 start. Got a win, 2 losses, a save, and his only save opportunity. Giving up 18 hits, 14 runs, 13 earned, 7 walks, and 11 strikeouts. He's got a 9.75 ERA and a 2.68 whip. But has been throwing the ball much better of late.
You know, you talked about earlier on the Tuesday game, and the first game of this series that Austin High won decisively. By the end of it all, it was 14-5. But you talked about, Austin High gets out. It was 3-0, then turned into 3-2. Well, guess what? Same early goings here a little bit. Now, Akins had to work a little bit more. They picked up a run in 2 consecutive innings to make it 3-2, but you've got it here now. They've scored 2 here in the top of the third, still have 1 in scoring position. The good news is for Shooter, he's coming into a spot where Fletcher Wilson's already done 2/3 of the work. You've already got 2 outs picked up. Now you have to pick up the last one. See if Shooter can do that right here against Perez. Wind up, Shooter fires that one just a bit over the top of the zone here. 4-1. Shooter fires this one low and away in the dirt. 2-0 count.
Yeah, making that change from Coach A's perspective, probably not so much of concern about Fletcher's not having it, more of let's be careful with his arm as he's coming back. That one's popped up to Calvert.
And Calvert will snag it, so that'll record the out, get you out of the inning. It'll leave 2 stranded, but not before Akins is able to pick up 2 in response to the Maroons' big bottom of the second inning where they rattled off 3. But it's the Maroons. They're coming back up to the lineup. And we'll see if they can respond in kind and re-extend this lead. We'll find out when we return here from Burger Field.
My missing teeth were in the front.
I fell off a roof, messed up my teeth.
I would be talking and my tooth would just fall out. That's when I turned to 8118 Dental Professionals.
When I first came in, it was so welcoming.
I just felt a connection, felt like family.
It is worth every penny because you get that peace of mind that everything is okay.
I can't stop smiling.
Why wait?
From implants to full mouth restoration.
Go to 8118dentalimplants.com to see how we can help you smile again.
Welcome back to Burger Field here with the Burger Athletic Complex. Here on a warm and sunny Friday afternoon. Of course, it won't be warm for too much longer. It'll cool off into the weekend, and then it'll get warm again. Surprise, surprise for those of you living here in Central Texas. Well, the Maroons right now here will have Drew Anderson, dangerous Drew Anderson, coming back up here to the plate.
Let's pick up where we were in the second inning. Let's go score some runs.
That's right.
Get those 2 plus more back. Anderson, Godinez, and Shooter up.
Busy afternoon here at the Burger Athletic Complex. Of course, you got the track meet in behind us, and it's down the street here is this one. Anderson able to layer that in for a base hit to get you started.
Great job being a good leadoff hitter. Now we got Godinez up. Grounded to third in the first inning. Got good speed here. Anderson pretty good speed over there at first.
One pitch, a swing of the bat, and Anderson is on with nobody out. And Anderson on the move already as that's fouled away. Coach A not wasting any time with the call there.
No need, no time like the present. Third baseman playing even with the bag. Moving a step or 2 in now. First baseman Ariano holding on Anderson. Double blade depth up the middle. Outfield playing relatively shallow, especially Becerra in center.
Throw back over to first.
The wind is blowing in, and again, this is a big ballpark. So really tough to get the ball over the outfielders' heads.
Godinez gonna try his luck though. That one fired back, and they're able to range back and snag it. I'll hold Anderson at first and record 1 out.
All right, Shooter walked and scored in the second inning.
It was his walk that got you started.
Yes, it did.
Started the little carousel round the bases there. For a second there, the way they were walking, it was almost like the old Bugs Bunny Looney Tunes cartoon where just everybody's going around the bags.
Mm-hmm. Those were some tremendous Saturday mornings as a kid.
Nothing like waking up with Bugs Bunny.
Get your Fruit Loops or whatever your cereal was. Parents sleep in, and you got the TV to yourself.
Of course, everybody knows, Wile E. Coyote, but the other two that are, in the same vein, maybe not quite as popular as this is popped up from Shooter into the infield, and that will record out number 2, is Sam Wolf and Ralph, the sheepdog.
Oh, yeah.
Catcher, number 21, Osby Contreras.
When they would clock in.
That's right. You clock in, you clock out.
Sure.
You know, they're friends when you clock out for the day before they clock in. Once that clock was punched, they're off to work.
All right, Osby Contreras hit by a pitch and scored in the second inning.
Anderson on the move. That one tails. Anderson slides back in. He took the glove in the face, maybe.
Big 90 feet right there.
Puts him in scoring position either way.
In a 3-2 game with 2 out, anything close, I'd expect Coach A to send him.
1-0 count. Contreras.
There you go.
Rocks this one. That one's on a laser. Center field can't get there. Contreras. He'll round first as Anderson scores. And Contreras comes to a stop at third. Kind of skipped up over the bag, and Coach A going to check on him.
Yeah, that's a heck of a job. A triple by Osby Contreras. When he came in sliding, it looked like his right foot cleat caught the top of the bag. That's a good way to break an ankle. Luckily, he's fine.
Shipper will come in and courtesy run for him, but an RBI triple for Osby Contreras leads to Ty Schreiber with Landon Shipper courtesy running for Contreras 90 feet away. Schreiber fouls this one off.
And Contreras extends his RBI team lead. Nice job of hitting there. Split the left and center fielder.
Living up to his moniker that he earned at the start of the season, being in the top 50 in the state.
That's true.
0-2 count here for Schreiber. He's fouled off these last 2 pitches.
Schreiber singled in the second inning.
One-two count here. And now that evens up the count at 2 apiece. Schreiber stays alive, fouls it off again.
You know, we got one of those runs from the top of this third back. It'd be great to get the second one back.
Yeah. Currently, right now, the Maroons up 4-2 with a 2-run lead. That one, 3-2. That had to have been high.
Yeah, I think high, maybe just a tad outside. Maybe.
That one's inside, and that'll put runners at the corners here. But it will keep you in this bottom of the third inning.
For Dane Calvert, another opportunity for his first varsity hit. He walked to the last time up. It was stranded. Actually, he was caught stealing to end the second inning.
That's right.
Pitch out on the first and third.
Akins, it's the second time they've gone to the pitch out effort here this afternoon.
Good for Coach A in not playing with what would be a traditional high school level here and not falling into that pitch out.
They go pitch out again, this time over to third, and Shipper holds. So 2-0 count here for Dane Calvert. Tenberg misses.
Good at Dane not changing or chasing and expanding the zone. Stay within your zone. Take the walk if they'll give it to you.
3-0 count. Here's Tenberg. Calvert takes.
Probably taking all the way there.
I was going to say, conventional wisdom would say up 3-0, you might as well take for that fourth one. Calvert does. Gives you a 3-1 count. Throw back to first. Akins today really trying to work the pickoffs here in any way that they can, especially here with 2 outs, understandably so. And a 2-run game. Runners on the move. Calvert drives us over to short. Throw to first in time. The run does not score from Contreras. But the one that Contreras drove in, hey, that still counts. And so the Maroons take a 4-2 lead into the top of the fourth when we come back. You're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vipe Live Network.
At Horizon Bank, we're from here. With over 100 years of experience serving Central Texas customers and headquartered right here in downtown Austin, we're proud to support our community and the athletes who keep it strong. Stop by any of our Austin and Central Texas locations and see how we can help you meet your goals. We'd love to meet you. Or you can visit us on the web at horizonbank.com.
Hi, I'm Jenny Covert. Welcome to Covert Chevrolet in beautiful Bastrop, Texas, where small town values drive big time savings. At Covert Bastrop, we understand what matters to you most. A good deal, great service, and dealing with people you trust. What matters to you matters to us. Rooted in family values since 1909, the Coverts have been serving Central Texas for 6 generations. We want to be your car dealer. Let us prove it. Covert Chevrolet, Highway 71 in Bastrop. Together, let's drive. CovertBastrop.com.
Welcome back in. Time of the fourth inning. The Maroons they got a 4-2 lead here.
And Marco Ariano playing first base. Takes that first one for a ball. His curve at 68. Comes back with a fastball at 80. Upstairs.
Shooter a 2-0 count that he's working on here, though, but he's only on to his 5th pitch here. And there at pitch number 6, finds the zone here in the top of the fourth. 4 strike 1. The windup from Shooter, this is fouled away. Two count. Check swing. I say he did not come around, so ball 3. Payoff pitch from Shooter. Ball 4.
That's tough. Leadoff walk here in a close game.
Number 20, Trey Vasquez.
That runner usually scores 80+% of the time. Not only at this level, but any level.
Down in the dirt.
No action in the Maroon bullpen.
Man, how big is it, though, that you get Fletcher Wilson back today, get him a little bit of action before you go into almost a miniature bye week, if you will. You don't have a game on Tuesday. You won't play again for a full week from today. Admittedly, it is on the road at San Marcos.
Non-district game.
It won't impact anything too much. Certainly will have no impact on the musical chairs, as it were. We do now have, it looks like we're getting ready to see some action here coming up in the Maroon bullpen. Carter Hayden in there as ball 4 and another walk here from Henry Shooter, and so that'll put 2 on. Well, Carter Hayden went back there, but it looks like Jason Martinez will get the tap on the shoulder.
Yeah, as important as this game is to us, you don't want to let somebody get in too much trouble.
And so we will change hands and gloves pretty quickly here as Jason Martinez will take over on the mound for Henry Shooter. For Shooter, to his credit, he did his part, did his job, got you out of 1 inning with 2 outs, stopped the bleeding after a couple runs were scored.
It brings us to Jason Martinez. He's thrown 17 innings off the mound, made 2 starts. He's 0-1 on the season, no saves, given up 21 hits, 14 runs, 12 earned. Walked 12, struck out 7. He's got a 4.94 ERA and a 1.94 whip.
A lot of that, quite honestly, is a little bit skewed, in part because of the Westlake series a week ago, where Martinez really kind of hit his struggle against Westlake. You know, not necessarily his fault, wasn't having his day, and if there's a team that you do not want to be off on, it's Westlake.
That's
they
true.
will make you pay. And Martinez just had the off day that day and hurt his numbers in the long run.
Yeah, he didn't get the win against Dripping Springs, but boy, without the valiant effort that he gave us, we would not have been in that game to win it in the bottom of the 8th inning.
I mean, that was a beautifully pitched game by both Martinez and Martiak.
Not surprised to see Coach A come in with him. One, it's been a week since he's pitched, and another is just give these Akins hitter a different angle to see the ball from. They've seen 2 right-handers so far this game. Now they're going to come in and see a lefty. This is their 9-hole hitter, Krucka. The 2 runners on belong to Shooter. See if Martinez can roll a ground ball double play here.
Martinez fires. That one's just a bit upstairs. Ball 1. And the 1-0 count here. Martinez taking his time. This one down on the dirt for ball 2. It's a hard thing about bringing these guys in when they haven't really had a chance to get loose. They're kind of having to get loose on the fly a little bit and work their way back into finding the zone. Martinez misses again. Ball 3. And we will again see motion here in the Maroon pen. Carter Hayden will warm up. So Martinez comes back, strike 1. So a 3-1 count. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So you have the right-handed Hayden warming up. And Martinez looking for a reason to keep him in the bench. A 3-2 swung on.
Got him at 73.
Up next for Akins, pitcher number 16.
Now that double play ground ball would be just golden right here and get out of this.
Absolutely. Brings up Aiden Tenberg.
He's hitting in the one hole.
Martinez fires. And got the call, strike one. Martinez fires. And that one low and away for ball one.
It's a straight change outside.
Yeah, for a second, if you had runners at the corners, I would have said that was a pitch out effort. 2-1 count. Martinez, this one fouled away. Tenberg just got underneath it, but that one shot like a rocket into foul territory down the first base side. So a 2-2 count. This one grounded over to Calvert. Calvert flips it to Kenny. Kenny fires
That's
the first. And there's that double play ground ball. You called for it. You got it. And Jason Martinez struck out one, gets Akins to hit into the double play. After that, and Calvert, Kenny, and Besa, they do their part with a little 4-6-3 action to retire the sign and get you out of the top of the fourth. Leaves two stranded, and the Maroons, they lead by 2. They'll look to add to it when we return. You're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vibe Live Network.
Nance Orthodontics is committed to providing the highest quality orthodontics for the Austin community. Dr. Nance is a board-certified orthodontist and offers Invisalign and braces to create beautiful smiles. Our friendly team is passionate about creating beautiful, life-changing smiles for all ages with the latest technological advances. Patient comfort and happiness are our highest priority. Give us a call for your complimentary consultation today.
Welcome back to Burger Field. For those of you who are wondering, and by the way, I went back and I looked, and a lot of you at home, and maybe a lot of you in the future. Remember, I like to speak to those who have not yet watched yet, into the future, as it were, right? A lot of you went back. You wanted to hear from Hall of Fame head coach Glenn Bachak. Understandably so. That game alone got some 200 views, I think is what it was up to when I checked.
And what a great interview. Really appreciate his time. Very generous with his time. And as a matter of fact, folks, keep tuning in. I've got a tentative confirmation that during the Bowie series, our athletic director, Jason Glenn, will join us for an inning or so. It's always be good to hear from him on the status of all the athletic build-out within AISD as we're adding turf facilities across from that bond, and I believe it was 22. But first things first, and up is Logan Kinney. Walked his first time up See if he can't play leadoff hitter for us here in the bottom of the fourth.
Tenberg fires that one way outside for ball one. This one out of the zone again. Not quite as far outside. It's still a bit high. And a 2-0 count. Kenny rocks this one. He got all of it, and that one is snagged.
Jeez, Logan tagged that one good.
Got robbed.
Becerra just caught that one on the fly like a wide receiver.
Becerra tracked it off the bat. Well done. Had to range back there for it, but Kenny struck that about as well as you could. And the Sarge lays down a bunt. It takes an unfortunate bounce back to Tenberg, and he'll make the throw to first to Ariano, and that's 2 away.
He gets on if he gets that ball anywhere but right back to the pitcher.
Brings up Jane Besa.
Besa, no official at-bats. He walked in the first and had a sacrifice fly in the second.
Swing and miss it this one.
That looked like a 59-mile-an-hour screwball.
A big wave for him to hack at that one.
Either that or it's a spitball. That's a wicked movement on it.
0-1. Just high there. And the 1-1 pitch finds the zone. 1-2. Tenberg fires this, fouled away. Chopped down the line to first and into the Akins dugout. So the 1-2 count remains here. Besa. Just keep fouling it off till you get something you like. This one he'll lift. That one's going to die into the glove of left field. And that will do it for the fourth inning.
It's a quick inning, only 9 pitches.
In and out. Not to be confused with the burger joint. But the Maroons, they're not confused at all. They're up 4-2. And they are in control, and Jason Martinez will look to keep it that way when we return. You're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vibe Live Network. We'll be right back.
Almost every day, banking touches some aspect of your life, from growing your business, saving for retirement, or planning for future generations of your family. That's why it's so important to pick the right financial partner. The good folks at Plains Capital Bank have deep roots in Austin, serving Central Texas owned and operated businesses for over 20 years, from commercial real estate to managing your wealth. You can find them at plainscapital.com or call them at 457-7500. And when you talk to them, be sure to tell you that my friend Paul said hello, member FDIC.
Welcome back to Burger Field. The Maroons, they're in charge right now.
David, I think who's charging right now is Grable Moreta, playing a little Return of the Mac. It must have been his theme song back in the day.
Yeah, they got the jams broken out for us here today. Moreta's doing his part. Keeping the vibes going for a good Friday afternoon of baseball.
Grable's nephew, Jason Martinez, is on the mound. Kelso Barrera Becerra in the box, 0 for 2. Struck out looking, grounded to second base.
And Martinez, top of the 5th inning, puts this one in the dirt. Becerra showed bunt. One-0 count. Martinez fires, this time upstairs. Seems to be a common theme here for Martinez today, that he either misses high or he misses low. And this one stays upstairs again, ball 3.
Just struggling to find that consistency.
And that's ball 4.
Probably a release point, I would think. Trying to find that consistency.
Sure, if it's releasing, it's almost a timing thing. I wonder if he's releasing it maybe a little bit too late or a little bit too early for what he's trying to do. Like you said, could be that release point, something in the stride. Could be something maybe he's keying on from a targeting standpoint. Not sure. This one's upstairs again.
Somebody needs to go out and see him. Be a good time for Contreras just to call time and going out there.
Yeah.
Throwing 5 straight balls.
I'm surprised Contreras hasn't called time for anybody yet here today. And the 1-0, this one in the dirt swung at. That's strike 1. Going from Wilson to Shooter to Martinez, and Contreras really hadn't gone and met with any of them. Throw back to first there. It's the one thing I think of Martinez's game that he does pretty well comparatively is he does a pretty good job of checking the runners.
Yeah, absolutely.
This one swung back, pulled the other way, and it got past Logan Kenny. I think Kenny jumped it like he was expecting that to come back towards right.
Well, runners on first and second now. You're set up for a double play again. Besa in on the grass at first.
This gets lifted into the gap. The Sarge tracks it down, snags it, and heaves this one all the way across to Godinez.
Ooh, that was a good throw.
That was a beautiful throw.
Right on the money, too.
Godinez had to take a little bit of a step back, but it served its purpose in keeping the runners from advancing. That's one away. Martinez fires. Ball 1. One-0 count. Goes to 2-0. Martinez fires. That's chopped right back to him. He'll make the throw over to third. And that's out number 2.
Not sure Javi was tracking. There was only one out.
Up next for Akins, right fielder, number 22.
I think Javi thought that was it. I think he lost track.
We got the lead run.
And
Lead
that's,
runner,
I think, the
I
most
should say.
important
Yeah.
part for, Martinez. At the very least, you get the lead runner out. With that decision, it was a good decision. Martinez fields this one, fires it over to first. That's in time, and there's out number 3. So the Maroons do their part. 2 left stranded. But they get out of the inning without any runs being scored. Did give up a hit in the inning, but it remains 4-2. Maroons lead when we return. Live from Burger Field, you're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vibe Live Network.
Do you need a haircut? A real haircut? One that's tapered or blocked, clipped or trimmed just the way you like it? Come let the licensed barbers at the Sportsman's Barbershop take care of you. The Sportsman's Barbershop is a friendly, no-frills neighborhood barbershop located in Austin's Brikerwood area. Our barbers specialize in traditional haircuts for men and boys, along with beard trims and straight razor shaves. The trophies and mounts donated by customers that line the barbershop walls serve as testaments to over 60 years of serving Austin. Give the guys a call, 512-459-9525 to schedule your appointment today, or look us up online at sportsmansbarbershop.com. The Sportsman's Barbershop, an Austin institution.
Welcome back in. Beautiful Friday afternoon, Mr. Scott. Beautiful Friday afternoon for baseball.
It could be a lot worse, and it has been a lot worse. So we are blessed. We're blessed to get this game in. I believe we do have an official game now here as we start the bottom of the 5th inning.
Well, and we talked about the weather being a contributing factor, and so far the call to move it up to 3 is worked out because that weather is holding off. And in fact, the sun breaking through, the clouds have parted a little bit here over the ballpark for us.
And hey, haven't hurt the attendance here. We have a big crowd here.
Now, bottom of the 5th inning, and we'll get you started.
Anderson 1 for 2.
Get you started the same way we've been starting these last couple innings with Anderson to get you going here early. Tells you how busy the bats have been for the Maroons. Anderson, weak grounder back over to short. Third baseman ranges over, and that throw is in time to record the first out on the bottom of the 5th inning.
That sounded like that was right off the handle.
Took a weak roll, so with Anderson's speed, figured it was going to be close, and in fact it was, but just not quite in time to beat the throw. Brings up Javi Godinez, and Godinez puts that one in play right over the head of second base.
I thought for a second he caught it.
No, he got it just up and over the outstretched glove of Pudiak, and that puts one on and brings up Jason Martinez. Runner on the move is Godinez, and he'll get down in the dirt, but he advances. Well, he read that one perfectly to take off on. Helped out by being an outside pitch. Martinez came up showing bunt, ball 2. Tenberg's pitch inside.
I'm surprised with Godinez at second and the infield, or at least at first end, that Martinez would be squaring to bunt with one out. Runner's already in scoring position, especially somebody as fast as Godinez. I'd almost be tempted to let Martinez swing away to his pull side and see if he can't shoot it through first and second gap here.
I was going to say, well, the way they're kind of cheating in here, I almost want to see if he can just put it over their heads. Time called again. Of course, second base is playing over, so there is a little bit of a gap here. With Short trying to cover the bag at second, you've got a gap if you can put one back up the middle a bit. Godinez is making Tenberg Have to step off the mound, getting into his head a little bit. Living rent-free.
It is a big lead.
They're going to throw back, and that one will not be in time. Does not get through to allow Godinez to pop up and take off for a little bit extra.
And while we do want to be aggressive on the bases, we don't want to be silly. You're already in scoring position.
Sure.
Base hit should score you, especially with your speed. Oh, that's a beautiful bunt.
He laid that one perfectly down the line at third, and now you've got runners at the corners. You know, it's something back in tournament play that we talked about that while they were working on it a lot in practice and they hadn't been laying a lot of them down during the tournaments. Now all of a sudden here over these last couple games, starting to lay down more and more of these bunts, and they're paying off. They've been beautiful today.
Absolutely. And on that one, I think in hindsight, I think what Coach A's his thought process is he's seen Akins enough. When that runner's on second, they're going to have third baseman hold it. So hold the runner on the bag, right? The plays at third,
right,
opposed to have the shortstop come over. So nobody's going to be there to get that ball. We saw that on Tuesday as well. So actually a very smart play and a great job by Martinez executing on that. And that's a bunt single.
I'll lead to him being courtesy ran for by Carter Hayden. And so Tenberg's going to come over and pick on Carter Hayden a little bit. Runners in scoring position is Godinez here at first. Runners at the corners. And Contreras popped that one right back to Javi Godinez. The third baseman in him was right there ready. He grabbed it off the bounce.
Yeah, but just be careful. Make sure you're on the foul side before you catch that,
was
which
on
he
the bag
was
too,
by a ways. But
Coach A, who, I think said something to him. Saw Godinez look back over and kind of grin at him.
Uh-oh.
Carter Hayden on the move. That one didn't get through, and Godinez going to try his luck.
Safe.
He's in time. Five to 2 lead. And that'll lead to a meeting here at the mound for Akins.
all right, Contreras, team leader in RBIs, looking for another one here. He tripled last time up and scored Anderson. He also was hit by a pitch in the second and came around and scored.
That one he took on the noggin.
He used his head.
Contreras fouls this one off from Tenberg. So it's a 1-2 count. Carter Hayden in scoring position, so got to think a base hit would score him. And Contreras fouls this one away.
That was a 61-mile-an-hour floater. Floater up high, had to look like a beach ball coming in.
The 1-2.
Oh, that was way high.
Big wave from Contreras. And that's 2 down.
Just a little over-anxious there. Over-anxious. Knew that other run was there to be picked up and maybe pressed a little bit, worked outside of his zone. That's all right. Learning opportunity.
Bit overzealous, perhaps. And Schreiber lifts this one. That one is snagged by second base. And that'll retire the side. Leaves one stranded, but the Maroons do still score one. And they'll take a 5-2 lead into the top of the sixth, where Jason Martinez will go back to work when we come back. You're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vipe Live Network.
Maroon Baseball is supported by Austin's oldest independently run pharmacy, Terrytown Pharmacy. Founded in 1941, Terrytown Pharmacy has been family owned and operated since 1950, and the Newberry family is loyal forever. Visit Terrytown for great customer service, incredible gifts, and necessities. If you haven't transferred your prescriptions yet, give them a call. Thank you, Terrytown Pharmacy, for your consistent annual support of Maroon Athletics. Terrytown Pharmacy, online at terrytownpharmacy.com.
Welcome back in. Live here from Burger Field, Jason Martinez. As this one gets snagged by Dane Calvert.
Toledo, Dane Calvert. What an athletic play to leap up there and grab that ball. Saved Martinez a base hit. What a play.
Dane Calvert.
Left fielder, number 20, Trey Vasquez.
Saw it cleanly. Then leapt, outstretched glove and all, and snagged that one. As Martinez comes back inside, ball one. Confidence, right now a lot of confidence on the field for the Maroons.
They should. They've been playing great defense.
Playing fantastic defense. And the bats have been rocking lately. Is strike one there for Martinez. This one struck, and that one was dropped by Godinez.
All right, let's stay within ourselves.
I don't think he made.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
You want to describe that one, Mr. Roy?
Holy cow. The throw was a bit off from Godinez. Contreras was there to cover the bag, but he never tagged. He never stepped on it, come back across the first, so the throw back to Besa from Contreras allows Besa to make the tag and record the second out.
I think what happened is the batter turned towards second. As soon as you turn towards second, you have to go or get back, and Contreras being there to back up the throw, which was a fantastic effort, was there to get that one, toss it back to Besa for the out. So a 5-2-3 ground ball to third base.
Almost as unique as the 8-6-2 double play.
I mean,
saw earlier this season.
We were talking about the fact we're playing great defense. Godinez made a spectacular play earlier. Kenny's been playing lights out at shortstop. You had that leaping catch by Calvert over there, the sinking liner to Scott out in right center the last inning, and then coming up, making the great throw to third to hold the runner at second. That's the kind of defense Coach A has been talking about all year. Needing to play, and hey, when you play great defense, you're in these games, and it's a 5-2 ball game. We had the diving play by Base over there that saved a run. Oh, boy.
Swing and strikeout. Contreras overshot that one.
Oh, man.
And Schreiber had to track that one down. It rolled along the fence. What should have been a quick and easy out turns into a triple.
Yeah, that was a strikeout and an error on the throw. Schreiber was not there to back up the throw, and so that ball just went running, and now we have a runner on third base.
Off the one error. That's a huge error.
Yeah, it is.
And a 5-2 ball game here, top of the sixth. Brings up Aiden Tenberg against Martinez. And Martinez puts that one well over the top of the zone.
All right, now we got to settle down and come get this batter right here. It's their leadoff hitter, Tenberg, 0 for 2 today.
Three-0 count. Strike one.
Here comes the runner.
Here it comes. Contreras, quick flip, and it gets past Martinez. So that scores a run and puts a runner on first. Makes it a 5-3 game.
All right, we've got to reset. Last two batters, we have not showed our great defense that we have had so far today. We get a courtesy runner over there for Tenberg. That'll be Mirrors. And Becerra, center fielder's up 0 for 2 today. Walked the last time up. Martinez now at 38 pitches, 15 this inning.
Swung on, missed. Contreras fires. Not quite in time, but heck of an effort on the throw from Contreras to Calvert. Contreras' throw was on the money, too. The 1-1 fouled away. Just got a piece of it, fouled straight back. It's a 1-2 count. One, two, it's in the dirt, gets by Contreras. And that's another 90 feet given up.
These bases are becoming important. That's about 5 bases we've given up.
And Contreras, there's been no this is the part that surprises me, is that despite all that, there's been no meeting, no discussion, no nothing. As it's ball 3. Akins thought it was ball 4.
Yeah, there needs to be. Somebody needs to go out there, just kind of shake up the momentum here.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm surprised it hasn't been Contreras, because Contreras is usually pretty quick to those. Martinez fires on the 3-2. There's strike 3. Gets you out of the inning.
Boy, that was important.
Massive. Martinez up to 43 pitches. He gets you out in the inning there with a strikeout. But Akins, they cut that lead down to 2 as we turn to the bottom of the 6th. Time becoming a factor here from Akins, but it's a close game nevertheless. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vibe Live Network.
Real estate companies come and go in Central Texas about as fast as the wildflowers in spring. But when you're looking for a house, you're looking for a place to put down roots, a place to call home for years to come, which means you need a realtor with roots in the community, like Tate Property. Tate Property is a family-owned real estate brokerage located in Terrytown. We grew up here, we live here, and we work here, representing buyers and sellers of Austin's finest luxury homes, investment properties, and farm and ranch retreats. This is our passion. Give Tate Property a call at 512-474-8283. That's 512-474-TATE. Or look up online at tateproperty.com and let us know how we can help you today. Tate Property, exceptional homes, exceptional service.
Welcome back in. David Roy, James Scott here in the broadcast booth with you as always. And the Maroons, they're up 5-3, and we've got Dane Calvert stepping up, looking to add to it. Still looking for his first varsity hit.
But he did walk in the second inning. So right now, being a leadoff hitter, by any means necessary, let's get on base. We could go pick up that run we just gave up in the 6th.
Check swing. And 1-0 count.
There
Calvert
you go.
Gets on his first varsity base hit.
And that, sir, was a rope. Congratulations, Dane Calvert. That'll bring up Logan Kinney. Logan's 0 for 1, walked in the second. Possibly up for a bunt here. If he does, third baseman's in. You're going to want to put it down first base line.
I'll fire this back over to first where Calvert is holding for right now. This one low for Kenny.
Kinberg from the stretch. Ball inside, 68 miles an hour. So 2 balls, no strikes. Calvert with a shallow, short lead at first. Now extends.
Fire that back over to Calvert.
Scott on deck, base in the hole.
Kenny had to reach out for it, but he makes contact, and Becerra is there to record the out.
Up next for Maroons, center fielder, number 3, Jimmy Scott.
Scott 0 for 3. He's hit the ball hard his first 2 times up. Then tried to bunt his way on in the 4th and just bunted it right back to the pitcher. Big hole over on the right-hand side. With pitch out. Calvert back. There you go.
Rocked down the line and into the gap, and that puts 2 on.
Up next for Maroons, first baseman, number 1, James Best.
All right, brings up Besa. Besa 0 for 2 tonight, or this afternoon. Walked in the first, had a sacrifice fly in the second.
Two on, only 1 out. You know, and looking at it, it feels a lot warmer than just 75 degrees.
It's that humidity.
It's getting to you. You at home, though, you don't have a humidity problem. You get to just sit back and we will suffer on your behalf. There's a 1-0. Misses inside for 2-0 here for Besa. Don't want to get out in the heat and humidity, that's fine. Just tune in, listen to us.
Like and subscribe.
There you go. And if you haven't already, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your barber. Unless you're at Sportsman's Barbershop, then in which case they already know about it.
Absolutely. They liked and subscribed a long time ago. But every day, you should like us.
Hey, look, it's okay. You can go back through some of the old games that we have broadcasted. You can like those too. That's all right. Don't be shy.
It does help our metrics, and we are trying to monetize our YouTube channel. So it doesn't cost you anything. Hopefully YouTube and the big conglomerate there give us a few dollars.
Besa chops that back. They'll call that foul. Trying to rip that one back up the middle. So the 3-1 with 1 away. Besa fouls us off. 3-2 now the count. Tenberg steps off. Dane Calvert getting into his head, man. Tenberg does not like it when you have a runner at second and they're dancing around back there behind him. He gets a little antsy. Besa lifts this one into foul territory, and Coach having to scramble to get out of the way. That is caught in foul territory, and that is out number 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. 2 on, 1 in scoring position for Dangerous Drew Anderson.
Dangerous Drew.
There
Perhaps that's his new nickname.
There you go. He's been dangerous at the plate last few weeks.
Came into today hitting even 400. He's 1 for 3. If he goes 2 for 4 here, he'll raise his average.
This one lifted Becerra trying to track it down, and that will settle into the glove in right field. And that's out number 3. So the Maroons, they'll leave 2 stranded as we turn to the top of the 7th, where Austin leads 5-3. Don't go anywhere. Big half inning on the horizon for Jason Martinez when we return.
After a tough game on the diamond or a strenuous day on the job, relief from those aches and pains is waiting for you at Somanos. Kiko is a certified flexibility expert and wellness practitioner who provides comprehensive bodywork, mobility coaching, and intentional breath work that allows the body to relax while relieving pain and alleviating injuries. Somanos offers a variety of therapeutic services to fit your needs and not hurt your budget. Relieve pain and increase your quality of life with Somanos. Move better, feel better, live better. 512-800-3064 or online at somanosbody.com. Somanos, proud supporter of Austin High Baseball.
Welcome back in. David Arroyo, James Scott here with you in the broadcast booth. Well, you take a look at the numbers here as Austin High leads 5-3, 5 runs scored on 8 hits. They do have an error. And Akins on the other side, 3 runs scored on 4 hits. Big top of the 7th here. Austin High has a 2-run lead. If Jason Martinez can do his part, then the Maroons are 3 outs away from being able to break out the brooms here, and they will have swept Akins. But they got to get those 3 outs without giving up 2 runs.
You've got the 3, 4, 5 hitters up in Salas, Pudiak, and De Leon.
Martinez fires that one high and away. Martinez can hold on here. He will pick up his first varsity win, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
The 1-0. This is cracked, lifted. Anderson tracking it down, makes a snag, and that's 1 away.
Made it look routine. Just kidding. I think that wind knocked it down a little bit.
A little bit.
I think it came off the end of his bat, too, so it looked like off the bat it's going to go farther than what it was. But point is, all ends well. Anderson makes a play.
They get 1 of 3 that is needed as Pudiak steps up, takes ball 1.
He's 0 for 1. He's been hit twice in the noggin, both times, I believe.
The 1-0. Waves at this one as it goes by beneath him. And that brings the count to the 1-1. Martinez closing in on 50 pitches here. Of course, it doesn't really matter. This entire Austin High bullpen will have a week's worth of rest going into San Marcos next Friday. And the 2-1 off the glove of Contreras, so it's a 3-1 count here for Martinez. Martinez fires this one. Chop back over to Kenny. Kenny makes that one look routine as that picks up out number 2. And the Maroons are 1 away from breaking out. The Brooms.
Pinch hitter for the Eagles, number 18.
The Maroon faithful not on their feet here with 2 outs in what's a very important game. A laid-back crowd, perhaps letting the humidity impact their enthusiasm.
Martinez Fires this one. Chop down to Cadenas. Cadenas pops, throws, out number 3.
And that's the ball game, ladies and gentlemen.
And for now, at least, the Maroons are alone in 4th place, which is the last position for playoff seeding in the district.
Like I tell you, it's a game of musical chairs, right? And as long as you have a seat when the music stops, that's all that matters. Well, right now, Austin has their name on a seat. Now, we still have a couple weeks of district play left to go for things to sort out. They still need a couple things to fall their way. Jason Martinez and company do their part. Martinez coming in relief of Fletcher Wilson. Wilson, his return to action, looked pretty good. Had to shake the rust off a little bit. Had a couple moments. And, of course, Coach A not wanting to expend him too much. Pulls him back in. Shooter did a little bit of work as well today. But it is Martinez who picks up the first varsity win off the mound in his career.
Yeah, he did a great job off the mound today, going 4 innings. I believe it was 4 innings.
I believe you're correct.
Yeah, he ended up going 4. Fletcher Wilson went 2 2/3, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, walked 2 and struck out 3. Henry Shooter gets credit for a third of an inning, walked 2 batters, and then Jason Martinez coming in, getting that win that you talked about. 4 innings, gave up 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned, walked 2 and struck out 3.
They do their part. And the Maroons with a big win. A must-need win. Not only do they get the win here today against Akins, they sweep Akins.
Swept Akins, and now, ironically, we become Westlake fans because we need Westlake to beat Bowie. That would sweep Bowie. Del Valle is off this week. So we are off in district next week. Obviously, we have the game against San Marcos, but that Bowie series for us is going to be where it is. If we sweep, we should control our own destiny. If we split, we're going to need some help. And, of course, if we lose both of them, that's pretty much the season.
Yep. It's a big series for Bowie, who is currently on the field warming up right now and getting going in the early goings. As the Maroons turn their attention. So, normally we would have a post-game interview after a win like that. However, because there is a second game, we have to pack up and get out of here. So, that will do it for us. On behalf of our entire broadcast crew here this afternoon. Fatima on cameras, Lulu our producer, and running back and forth for a few different cameras. Of course, Shane, our quality control assistant, back at base. Suna hopped on as well to help us out, get us back on the air and get us back on track. And on behalf of my broadcast partner, James Scott, I'm David Arroyo. We are signing off here from Burger Field. The Maroons get the win 5-3 over Akins. That'll do it for us. We'll see you next Friday from San Marcos when the Maroons are back in action. Have a good night. Have a good weekend, everyone.